It is still an emotional time, especially for Jewish communities, coming off the deadly synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago. Matt Levin, CEO of the Jewish Federation of South Palm Beach County, one of many filling that local imprint. Thank you so much for being here today. The worst anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. Is it surreal still, or have you come to terms with it?
I don't think we're going to come to terms with it maybe forever, or for a very long time. It's something brand new to the Jewish community in America, in the North American diaspora. Yeah. What's happened is Pittsburgh's become one of those words in Judaic lexicon that, like Ma'alat, like Munich, like 9/11, that have become part of the world that we live in today. And so, and for the Jewish community, synagogue is the most intimate of Jewish places. It's a place where you learn as a kid. I said in a speech earlier, it's where I would fall asleep on high holidays. It's where you mourn your grandparents. My brothers and I were all bar mitzvahed from the same bima, from the same shul, in the same sanctuary. So I think for the Jewish community, it'll take a long time. But we're a resilient community, and I think part of the resiliency is that we're going to redouble our efforts to do two things. One is to secure our community. On our campus, we have a 100-acre campus in Boca Raton, and we're going to continue to make sure that our 1,700 kids on our campus are secure every single day. And we're going to work with rabbis and congregations and agencies throughout the community to harden and secure their facilities. It's going to take a redoubling effort. It's also going to take a redoubling effort to make sure that we speak out against hate and bigotry and ignorance and
really,
call it when it happens.
So really, this is a twofold effort.
Absolutely. Our community has to take, I think, has to look at the role we've played and be vocal and work with ADL and other organizations to make sure that we understand that there's no tolerance today for the kind of hate and bigotry that we've seen in Charleston, in Orlando at the Pulse nightclub, and now in Pittsburgh, that race and religion and this kind of prejudice against race and religion is something that America simply have to come to grip with.
Not even 24 hours coming off the midterms yesterday, the change that we're seeing, how does that even affect the Jewish community here in South Florida?
We tend not to. The Jewish community tends to approach politics and midterms elections through the most bipartisan of lenses we can. Obviously, our community, like many communities, has its own brand of polarization. But we've tried to be and come at it based on a set of values. I think this election means that we're going to just continue to work with those that are in power, Republicans and Democrats, the House, the Senate, state legislature, state government, to really look and see ways in which they can be more helpful in this effort.
But no doubt
securing
about
funds.
Safety, one of those.
On safety, on security, on
top issues.
Those top issues for us. And we try to stay out of the fray of the politics because it gets us nowhere.
The Jewish Federation, you guys recently did a study. This was a major demographic study. What were some of the takeaways? A
couple different things, I think. So the community has changed. We did a demographic study 13 years ago. We found that while the overall population, Jewish population in South Palm Beach County hasn't grown that much, it's changed. The average age went down by 12 years. Went from something like 73 years old in 2005 to 61 years old.
So a little bit younger.
A little younger. The families that are raising their kids here, the indigenous community that are building their businesses, that are entrepreneurs, have taken their place in Jewish philanthropy and Jewish agencies. They're now part of the community. Yeah. The notion that South Palm Beach County was a snowbird community only, I think that's forever gone. I think we now have the mix between the snowbirds, the people that come down from north, they're retiring here, and those that are now making South Palm Beach County their home, this beautiful kind of incredible community with real roots and multi-generational representation.
All right. Well, Matt, we appreciate your time. Thank you for coming in to share some of the results of that study and also talk about security. I know this still continues to be a rather turbulent time.
Thank you so much.